My dear Sitecore family, welcome to yet another episode of Season 2 of Sitecore Tech Talks. Today with us we have Nidhi Paneri. So Nidhi is working here at Horizontal in the capacity of a technology lead, leading a number of projects since the past, and she has been here since what? How many years?
3+ years.
3+ years, great. And she is on Sitecore for how many years?
It's around 8 years now.
8 years?
Yeah.
Right. Well, so let's hear out what Nidhi has to say. The discussion today is going to be around JSS SDK versus the newly launched Content SDK. And she has experience on both. So I think hearing from an expert, I'm sure we'll gain a lot of knowledge. So first off, Nidhi, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Varun.
Yeah, and well, let's get started. We'd like to start with your overall experience on Sitecore. You know what you have been doing, what all you have done in the past.
Yes.
So if you can just help us out.
Okay, so first of all, thanks, Varun, for providing this platform so we can talk here. So let me start with my introduction. So my name is Nidhi Paneri, and I am in the IT industry from last 15 years. I started my career with the .NET technologies, working with .NET technologies, MVC, and some of the JavaScript frameworks like Knockout.js and Vue.js I worked with. Then I moved to the Sitecore technology before 8 years, and I started working with Sitecore with the pure MVC, like we have the controller view model, that structure, where the developer has the complete control over the rendering and everything.
The backend developer.
Yeah, backend developer. The front-end developer were only creating the HTML, providing that to us, and everything we were doing, like the rendering, field like integration and everything. Then I joined Horizontal before 3 years back, and here I started looking at the Headless framework, and started working with JSS SDK.
Right.
So that time I come to know that we can divide this, like the front end responsibilities and back end responsibilities. It is divided with using the JSS SDK.
Right.
So with that it provides us the complete layout, what we can say, that layout structure it provides us, that a front end developer can use independently.
Right. So they don't need to work on static data basically. Yeah.
And in that case we have the control, like we can use different frameworks. With Sitecore MVC we can use Angular, Next, and any framework of our need. So I started with one banking application as well. At that time we were having website and the mobile application as well. So we need to give content to both the platform. At that time we were thinking that how we can give the content so that it will be performance will also be not compromised, and we get all the requirements fulfilled. So at that time we use the JSS SDK. So with the layout queries we were doing all our job. But at that time we faced some difficulty, like the layout service provides us complete the Sitecore structure, including the routes, the component, placeholder, and everything. So at that time when we were giving that to the mobile team or the website, it was bit of the performance, like what to say.
Maybe you have to kind of drill down.
Yeah. So at that time what we came to know that we thought we need to bit of optimize that response. So we started using GraphQL queries, and using GraphQL there was one more requirement, like Sitecore data we were using, but we also wanted to have some external API data, and combining both we need to give the response. Like if we take some example for the banking, we need to have some of the content from the Sitecore structure, but some of the content we cannot store inside Sitecore CMS. That was at external database. and it was exposed through the APIs only.
Right.
So that we were having inside our controller side in the MVC.
Yeah.
We were developing some of the APIs where the Sitecore content we were reading using the layout services, and the external APIs we were calling inside our solution.
Right.
And combining both the results, we were giving the response to the front end team.
Right. Right.
So it was good, and using the GraphQL, we were able to provide the pagination, filtering, sorting, and everything.
Right.
So it was good.
Yeah. So basically, a shift from the usual traditional MVC to headless, there were definitely new
Yes,
learnings,
yes,
and
yes.
it was much better than
Yeah.
the initial ones, because
Yeah.
then you could build a platform, other platform applications as well.
applications as
Like
well.
when you mentioned it being a mobile application, which means was it a native one or was it a
Yeah, it was native one.
right? So again, I'm providing data to a native application and utilizing it.
Yes,
It's nice to know
Yeah,
that
we need to
how-
look at many factors there.
Yeah.
That only the required component, required fields should be there.
Yeah.
The security, the performance, everything we need to look at.
Correct.
So
I agree.
It was good working with the Headless and JSS SDK.
Yeah. Well then, from JSS, how did you start exploring Content SDK, and when did you start exploring it?
Yeah, well, I came to know that the Content SDK is released for the XM Cloud.
Yeah.
JSS SDK we were using with XP, and the Content SDK is only for XM Cloud.
Right.
So I started exploring this 2-3 months back only, because it is released this year with the beta release, and I started exploring like how it is better, or we can say the comparison between both the JSS SDK and the Content SDK.
So what comparison do you feel like? Is there any difference from a coding methodology perspective?
First of all, what I see, it is lightweight, and
Okay.
it is we can say it is fast. Why fast? Because here we have the directly available, readily available REST APIs, which we calls, and we get the clean JSON only. As I mentioned earlier, that using the JSS SDK, we have the layout response,
Right.
which contains the routes, placeholder, component, rendering, everything.
You get the whole structure,
everything, the whole
basically,
structure.
yeah.
If we needs it or we don't need, but we are getting
will be available,
completely, it will be
yeah.
available.
Yeah.
But with the Content SDK, we just have the content of our need.
Okay.
It is in the clean JSON format. So that's why it is
So
lightweight.
content of your need means the routes and everything. Only if it is required, you configure
Only the
it.
JSON fields.
Only the JSON fields
yeah,
of the component
fields
are
of the
available.
components. No rendering, no placeholder, and nothing.
Yeah, I mean the data transfer
Layout
would be
structure
very
is not there. We can say that.
correct.
So that's why it is lightweight, and as it is lightweight, it will improve the performance also.
Yeah.
And as in the XM Cloud, we have pages.
Yeah.
We do not have the experience editor.
Yeah.
So that is also useful. At the real-time content, we can see directly with the XM Cloud pages.
Correct,
we can use
correct.
that. Other thing, it is.
So do you mean with Content SDK, the what do you say, the scaffolding related to experience editor has been removed
Yes.
because it's not required
It's
anymore.
not required anymore.
But then I think you mentioned one thing is you used to use JSS SDK with XP and XM.
Yes.
We cannot use Content SDK with XP and XM.
Yeah.
Okay, it is only XM Cloud right now.
Yes.
Right.
Content SDK is created for XM Cloud only.
Right. So basically, XM Cloud, you have two options: JSS SDK
Yeah,
or Content
you
SDK.
You can use,
Yeah.
but because you have the complete JSS SDK there, and as I mentioned, Content SDK is lightweight. So if you can use directly Content SDK,
Right.
and if it is fulfilling your requirement and everything, then why to go with that lengthy process and everything?
Correct.
So that's why it is better.
Yeah. Well, I think while explaining your experience, you mentioned about the mobile applications,
Yes.
and you were basically having all the layout data, right?
Yeah.
So I think in such cases, having the Content SDK would be a
Better option.
right, because then
Yeah.
if with that example you say that, for example, that application, let's say it's on XM Cloud,
Yeah.
right, and then you are receiving data using Content SDK. I think with mobile applications, the amount of data
Will be
matters a
less.
lot.
It matters a lot, and just take a very easy, simple example. we have the article or news component everywhere in
Yeah.
every applications or wherever.
Correct.
So if we are using JSS SDK to get the news or article, we will receive the routes and placeholder components and everything that we don't need if we think about the mobile application. But with the content SDK, we will get only those fields like its title, description, and that to render that inside the component. So it is easy for us.
Nice. So, what other differences do you feel are important from a developer perspective to know?
As I already mentioned, it is providing us the REST APIs directly we can use. The other difference I can see is layout gives us the component and everything with the Sitecore structure, following the Sitecore structure. So in the JSS SDK, components are automatically built up with following the Sitecore structure. But here with the content SDK, we have, as a developer, we have the complete control over creating the components and rendering. So we need to build our component from scratch. Like we have the clean JSON, how we can use that inside our application. Everything is on us.
Right.
So
Sure. I think it's both ways. I would say yes, it is good as well, but then sometimes having that scaffolding of Sitecore is also.
Yeah, you can think about it, but this content SDK is just released and it is maturing. So I also started exploring it. It might possible that they release in the next release they provide these kind of features as well, like we are using in JSS SDK.
Yep.
Actually, it becomes, as a developer, we think about like we are comfortable using those scaffolding components and everything, and migrating to this, moving to this, we will think that that was good and this is not.
Yeah,
but
every change feels right?
Feels like that. But this is good for the lightweight applications currently. But in the next releases it will be there. Some more features will be there. If you can think about when the XM Cloud was released.
Apt example,
first time. That time it was clean, but after that we got the forms directly inside it and everything.
And they keep on.
It was also a move from we were having Sitecore forms where we were having the CD servers, database and everything. But in XM Cloud we do not have. So at that time that was also a point for us that how we will work. We do not have the database, how the data we will save, how we will extract that forms data. Then we had used the Sitecore Connect and everything for the webhooks, like using the webhooks. And so this way in the next release we will get
I'm sure
some
we will.
more features.
And I think that's an apt example, because for any SaaS product to get out there, and whether SaaS product or an SDK, of course you want to build out an MVP. And of course want to also try out how it is being received, and then of course a lot of feedback comes from our great Sitecore community. So I think all in all, of course Sitecore is the one who built it, but then a lot of feedback also comes from the community members who make sure that that build is a robust build.
And it makes sense when we are exploring, then we can give more idea like this feature will help us, because we are using the Sitecore products from long time. And
they will also have a roadmap, of course, no doubt about it, but then sometimes these features, sometimes, like example you mentioned about the experience editor feature, right? So it's no more required in XM Cloud, very rightly said. So why do we have that scaffolding? Let's remove it, it will be lightweight. So I think such decisions, they are going to be very much useful overall at the end of the day. All right, well, any last minute thoughts for the people?
First of all, thank you for providing this platform so that we can talk about the Sitecore technologies. And I started exploring Content SDK. So if you are working with XM Cloud, so I will say that please start using Content SDK. It will surely you will like that. And if you need any help, we can connect. And for everyone, thank you so much.
Well, that was Nidhi for us. Very, very rightly said. I think as developers, we always look forward to new technological things. So, well, if you are already on XM Cloud, if you are using JSS SDK, why not give it a try with Content SDK as well? And if there is anything, well, feel free to reach out to Nidhi, and she should be able to help. Thank you all. Hope you got some insights into Content SDK as a part of this episode. Do let us know how you feel, and well, that's it for today's episode. Cheers.
Thank you.